got to get back to our founding values. So my purpose when I talk about snafu, Greeks, and grades is to really share with college students that we've got to get to situational normal all fixed up.
There are 4 things that you need to make a top priority in your life. Number 1, this is a brotherhood. This is about men coming together and being stronger men. Each of us having each other's back. Number 2, he said, you're going to be involved with the community. To whom much is given, much is required. You will serve if you're going to be a part of this organization. Number 3, he said, everybody here is going to be a leader. Not just in this organization, but you're going to be involved with clubs and organizations outside of this organization and develop some skills so that when you come back to this group, you're stronger and better for it. But last but not least, gentlemen, he said, you're going to be scholars. You're going to take your academics seriously. You're going to get a minimum of 3.5 GPA or you're not in this organization. You said that, stepped off the chair, walked out of the room.
They can just roll out of bed the day of a test and get a 4.0. I wish I was that type of student. I had to work, all right? But there are some students that are just like that. They're just naturally gifted. The 4.0 doesn't impress me. I want them to be going for academic excellence, the best that they can be. Because what happens when they do that is that transcends into every other area of their life. If they're doing well and developing good habits in the classroom, the things that they're going to do outside of the classroom are going to be equally of excellent character. My whole goal is to help students understand that they can be excellent in every area of their life. Make greatness happen every day.
We want you to be the best of the best. And if you're not going to be the best of the best, we don't want you. At that point right there, I knew that Greek life was for me.
And they're going to have some knowledge on how they can succeed in life in college and life after college. I'm all about giving you bullet points while you're having a good time.
Listen, we've talked about academics. We've talked about community service. We talked about leadership development. And we talked about creating some strong friendships while you're here in college. But I want to tell you, there's one thing that wraps it all up. There's one thing that is more powerful when it's put together and packaged, and that's passion. Has anybody ever heard of the boxer, Muhammad Ali? Does anybody know his name before it was Muhammad Ali? Cassius Clay. Exactly. Cassius Marcellus Clay. Now, Cassius Clay, just to give a little bit of background, was an unbelievable boxer as an amateur. He had won 100 bouts and had only lost 5. In 1960, he got the gold medal for boxing in the heavyweight division. Later that year, October 20th, 1960, he had his first heavyweight bout. He knocked out a guy in the 5th round by the name of Tuni Hunsaker. As the story goes, Cassius Clay was sitting back in the dressing room after that bout, sweat dripping off of him and, kind of bruised up a little bit, a little blood on his face and everything. And reporters, paparazzi, all around him, taking pictures, had notepads out, writing down, has every quote, Champ, when are you going to go for the title? Champ, who's going to be your next fight? Champ, are you hurt at all? Boy, you got some good shots in on him, but how you doing? The reporters felt like they had the story for the next day and, kind of dispersing, the waters were parting, if you will. There was one young reporter in the back that said, Mr. Clay, I've got a question. Do you mind if I ask it? Cassius Clay said, anything, whatever you want. I'm an open book. Whatever you want to ask, I'm here. He said, Cassius Clay, where did you get your passion for boxing? Cassius Clay said, come here, son. I want you to see the whites in my eyes when I tell you this story. He said, my family, we were kind of from the wrong side of the tracks. We didn't have a whole lot of money. My parents worked hard, but it was just a struggle every month in and month out, just to make the rent. Well, for my 6th birthday, they found a way to give me a brand new bicycle. It was a bright red bike. It had little tassels coming down off the ends, little bell on it, ding, ding, ding. I rode that bike everywhere. I had a part-time job delivering papers and working at a grocery store. I'd ride it there all the time. I rode it to my 1st grade class. I was always on my bike. People saw Cassius Clay. They saw Cassius Clay on his red bike. One day I got to go, I woke up to try and go to my 1st grade class. I walked down the stoop and went around to unlock my bike. My bike was stolen. Somebody took my bike. He said he ditched class that day. He went in alleyways. He jumped into dumpsters. He banged on the storefronts. Has anybody seen my bike? Cassius Clay said, nobody ever found that bike for me, and I didn't find it for myself. At that point, Cassius Clay motions over his trainer. Can you keep my gloves off and my tank? And the reporter's kind of looking bewildered, kind of like you're looking at me, and he says, what are you talking about, man? I asked you a question about boxing, and you tell me some stupid story about a bike? Cassius Clay throws his trainer out of the way. He grabs the reporter, pulls him nose to nose. Sweat was dripping from Cassius Clay's nose onto the reporter's nose, and he says, listen, man, every time I step into that ring, every time I put on these gloves, I look across to my opponent and I say, hey, that's the dude that stole my bike! And I go get him! So you need that kind of passion if you're going to succeed in college. This isn't about just some part-time deal, going to class. This is about you getting excited about your life and making a difference. If you don't have passion, you don't have anything. My name's Mark Hartley. It's been good sharing with you.
When you hear me speak, you're going to leave with some knowledge, a smile on your face. And that's the way it should be.